It's time for a book haul. I have recently received some books from Thriftbooks. Let's see what I got. Hello book friends, I'm Jen and welcome to my reading life and welcome to another book haul video. Today I am going to share with you a pretty good sized haul that I recently received from Thriftbooks. And I actually have quite a few of you to thank for this haul because many of you have been using my affiliate link for Thriftbooks that is in all the description boxes of my videos, and when you spend $30 you get a free book and I get a free book. And I have received so many free book credits at Thriftbooks, some of which were expiring. We can't let that happen, you guys. We need to use those free book credits, and so that is what I have done. I would say at least 2/3, if not more, of these books were purchased with those free book credits, and you can receive a free book valued at $7 or under. And because you're shopping on Thriftbooks and everything is secondhand, it is fairly easy to find books that fit that criteria. So I have a number of different things. I have a couple of random picks that I will tell you about. I will have some picks based on recommendations from some of you. And I have a couple of books that I purchased in preparation for the holiday season. So grab yourself a cuppa and let us get into this Thriftbooks book haul. First up are the two, I don't want to say they're random, but both of these were sitting in my sort of saved for later section on Thriftbooks. You can save books that you want to purchase later on Thriftbooks. You can also set up wish lists on Thriftbooks, which I really love. I love any kind of bookstore website where I can save books that I might want to purchase in the future. Because sometimes I am not ready to buy them, or they might be for something, a read along or a buddy read or something that's happening in the future, and I don't want to purchase it quite yet because maybe I want to get a few other things when I purchase that book. Lots of reasons to have wish lists and save for later lists of books. But these two were kind of languishing on there, and I thought I'm just going to pull the trigger finally. First is WLT, A Radio Romance by Garrison Keillor. And I really love Garrison Keillor's writing. I just think he is so funny, and it just harkens back to a lost era of American culture. And so this one is set in the spring of 1926. And two brothers, Ray and Roy, plunge into radio and found the station WLT with lettuce and tomato, and inspired Gambit to rescue their failing restaurant and become the sandwich kings of South Minneapolis. And so then I think we just get to know the people that they hire to work at the radio station and all the different shows that are going on. Clearly, Garrison Keillor has history in radio. He knows whereof he speaks, and I just think this is going to be a fun little read. I'm kind of thinking this might be a good spring to summer transitional type of a read. Just sounds like, since it's set in springtime, that might be the perfect time to read it. So I think I'm going to put it on my spring 2026 TBR. And then next up is a book I purchased because it is my very favorite book. And anytime I find editions of it that look like they're going to be in good condition, I snatch them up if it's an edition I don't currently own. And of course, that book is Happy All the Time by Laurie Colwin. Now, I didn't actually realize when I purchased this that it is the large print edition, but that's fine. My aging eyes could certainly use the help. So maybe the next time I want to reread Happy All the Time for the umpteenth time, maybe I'll use the large print edition, and then I won't need to wear my glasses necessarily when I'm reading it. But yes, love this, and I really love this edition. I think it's just beautiful. So yeah, excited. I think this might be the only hardcover Laurie Colwin book that I have in my collection, and I think I might need to rectify that. I do have a couple of other hardcover editions of her books sitting in my Thriftbooks wish list or save for later list, and I might need to pull the trigger on them sooner rather than later so I can add them to my collection too. Next up are a few mysteries. I know many of you have been watching my series that I have started on mystery series that I love. And this first book didn't come out of that book. This book I actually discovered, I was doing some research for another project I'm working on for next year, and I realized I hadn't heard of this book by this author whom I have read many books by, and that is The Documents in the Case by Dorothy L. Sayers with Robert Eustace. And this is a standalone mystery. And I last year did a read through of all the Lord Peter Wimsey mysteries. If you want to see my wrap up of that read along that I did, I wrapped up all of the books. I ranked them in order from my least favorite to my favorite, talked about the whole reading experience. And if you want to check that out, I will link it here in the cards and in the description box below. But for some reason, this book had escaped my notice. And this is a kind of like I think it's more about the court case, or it's about the documents of the case. And so there are lots of like letters and different memos and things written to people that are describing this particular murder that's happened. I'll just read you the short little excerpt off the back. It says, "The grotesquely grinning corpse in the Devonshire shack was of a man who had died horribly with a dish of mushrooms at his side. His body contained enough death-dealing muscarine to kill 30 people. Why would an expert on fungi feast on a large quantity of this particularly poisonous species? A clue to the brilliant murderer who had baffled the best minds in London was hidden in a series of letters and documents that no one seemed to care about except the dead man's son." And so the book consists of all those documents. And so I think you read through that and then you discover who I assume the murderer is. So I'm very curious about this. Has anyone read this? Because this is a Dorothy L. Sayers that was not at all on my radar, and I'm very excited about it. Next up are some mysteries that were recommended to me by some of you in the comments of my 6 mystery series, Not to Be Missed, as series that you really enjoy. And this first one, the author was familiar to me, but I am not at all familiar with this series. And so I actually got the first 2 books in this series. I have high hopes for it. It sounds really good. And that is books 1 and 2 in the Inspector Lloyd and Hill mystery series. And that is A Perfect Match is book 1. This is by Jill McGowan. And then book 2 is Murder at the Old Vicarage. And I got Murder at the Old Vicarage because it takes place in the winter, and I thought this would be a perfect winter mystery series. So they're not very long at all. I mean, the first one is under 200 pages. So I thought I could maybe read this one in November and then save this one and read it in either December or January. So I got them both because I think I'm going to like this. Of course, this first one, there's a sticker covering the synopsis on the back, but it sounds like it's about a married couple who've been married for 26 years. Somebody turns up murdered. That's really all I can see. And then it says, "This brilliantly intricate case presents a challenge that Detective Inspector Lloyd and his charming young Detective Sergeant Judy Hill meet head on. It's the perfect crime except for one very small detail." That sounds really good. Very excited for that one. And then the second one, it actually says, "'Twas the night before Christmas with a killer in the house." So this definitely sounds like one I need to read at Christmas time. And yes, very much looking forward to this one. So there was Graham Elstow has been killed with a blow on the head. And the vicar and his wife were more relieved than grieved. And Elstow had beaten their beloved daughter so severely that she had landed in the hospital, and he had struck her again on the day he died. But murder they deplored, especially in their own home on Christmas Eve. Ooh, oh my goodness. Well, that sounds dramatic. So yes, very much looking forward to that. Love a good police procedural. And then this next book is actually a bind up of the first 3 books of this series. And I actually have the first book on my Kindle, but when I saw this bind up, I love to read books in physical form more than I do in ebook form. So I figured I would just get the first 3 books in this series. And that is the Bill Slider mystery series by Cynthia Herod Eagles. And very much looking forward to this. I'm also, Cynthia Herod Eagles, she is such a prolific author. She also has the Dynasty series, which I have the first of that book on my TBR shelf also to read, The Founding. And she's just written so much. But I really think this Bill Slider mystery series sounds really good. The first book is Orchestrated Death, then the second book is Death Watch, and the third book is Necrochip. So I'm very much looking forward to giving Bill Slider a try. And I was so excited when I received this because there's a book plate with Cynthia Herod Eagle's signature on it inside this. So, little signed edition. How exciting is that? I love when that happens. And then my final two books in this book haul are two Christmas books that I just decided I wanted to add to my holiday reading collection. And the first one is, in keeping with this video where I already had another book by this author, is A Christmas Blizzard by Garrison Keillor. So this says, snow is falling all across the Midwest as James and Joyce Sparrow awaken in their 55th floor 10-room apartment overlooking Chicago. He dreading Christmas and she adoring it, but down sick with the stomach flu. He dreams of spending it at their vacation home in, ooh, goodness, Hawaii. Kuhi Kapa'a. I'm going to get this. Kuhi Kapapa'au Umaumau, Hawaii. But a phone call from his hometown of Loose Leaf, North Dakota sends him flying into the teeth of a major blizzard to see dying Uncle Earl. And there in Loose Leaf, home of the Lucifers, he's confronted by old dark memories in every corner. Stranded by the storm, he lives in a fishing shack on the ice of Lake, oh my goodness, these words, Winnesis Bygosh, or something like that, where he meets a wolf, the big hair lady, and a Chinese wise man from the inner sunset, each attempting to teach him the great mystery of life. And there in the middle of the night, taking a sauna with cousin Liz, he conquers fear just in time to receive Mrs. Sparrow's wonderful Christmas gift. I just love an uplifting Christmas story, so I have a feeling this is going to be along those lines, and I'm here for that. And then lastly, because I just read this author's latest book, The Killer Question, which just came out and loved it so much. So I decided to get her little Christmas, I think this is sort of almost a novella, and that is The Christmas Appeal by Janice Hallett. It says, one Christmas play, one dead Santa, everyone's a suspect. So the Christmas season has arrived in Lower Lockwood, and the Fairway Players are busy rehearsing their festive holiday production of Jack and the Beanstalk to raise money for a new church roof. But despite the season, goodwill is distinctly lacking among the amateur theater enthusiasts, with petty rivalries, a possibly asbestos-filled beanstalk, and some perennially absent players behind the scenes. Of course, there's also the matter of the dead body on stage. Who could possibly have had the victim on their naughty list? Join lawyers Femi and Charlotte as they investigate Christmas letters, examine emails, and pore over police transcripts to identify both the victim and killer before the curtain closes on their holiday production for good. And I think this features, I think the lawyers, I think those are the same two from The Appeal, which I've also read. I liked, but I figured out the twist in it very early. So my enjoyment kind of was a little bit diminished because of that, but I really loved The Killer Question. And so I'm excited to give this one a try, and I love a good Christmas mystery. So this sounds fun. And that will do it for my Thriftbooks book haul. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you again to those of you who have used my Thriftbooks affiliate link. I really do appreciate it. I still have quite a few free book vouchers to use, and I used up the ones that were expiring, and so now I think I have a little breathing room. So hopefully I won't need to make a massive purchase again for a little while. Not that that's a bad thing. Who doesn't like more books in their life? I would love to know, have you read any of the books that I have hauled today? And is there a particular one that you think I'm going to love? I'm very excited about all of them. I know I say that in every video, but books just make me happy, and I get very excited about reading them, especially when I have them in my hands and I'm looking at the synopsis, and then I just get so excited. Then they sometimes sit and languish on my shelf for a very long time, but I feel like they are then there for me to pick up at the exact time that I should be picking them up to read them. Does anyone else feel that way? Let me know your thoughts on these. What was the last book you hauled that you are really excited about? Let's chat all things book hauls down in the comments below. And if you're here but you don't have anything that you'd like to add in the comments, but you'd like to let me know that you were here because comments really do help my channel, why don't you leave some cozy emojis for me? You know how I love to see what you guys think is cozy, and I love getting those emojis. Those comments really do help my channel, and I so love seeing that you were here and that you watched the video. And if you did watch and you enjoyed this video, if you could hit that like button and subscribe if you aren't already subscribed, I would love to have you join my bookish community. Thank you all so, so much. We have been having so many lovely conversations, especially on my recent mystery videos, my recent rereading video, my birthday Q&A. I so appreciate chatting with all of you. It's just been so, so lovely. I have to say my book recommendations list is exploding at the moment. You guys are giving me so many good recommendations in the comments. So many books, so little time. But thank you all so much for taking time out of your day and spending it here with me in my cozy corner of booktube. And as always, I'll be back with another video very soon. Bye! Were recommended to be get it together, Jen.